You today? Well, let's wait for a few seconds, see if we get some more folks on. Some people may have ran over to Randy's channel, not remembering that she said that we would be doing the morning coffee over here today. Since hey Chris, since she had a doctor's appointment. Now I don't think it's anything bad. If it were, she probably would have told me, but she just said she had an early doctor's appointment and asked me to do, excuse me, morning coffee. So we'll wait a few minutes for people to find us. Hopefully, they'll find us. So, um, looks like we have a few more folks coming on. That's good. Hey, Donna. So, I again haven't actually planned anything out for today. The bracelet bar that we had painted the other day, we actually made a bracelet with it on the members live. And so we'll show that here. We've got on the orange side and yellow, we put orange stuff. On the green side, we put green with some blue flowers. So I think it turned out really pretty. I like it a lot. So we made that yesterday on the members live. Hi, Jenny. No, Randy had an early doctor's appointment this morning. Um, as I already mentioned to the other ladies when they first came on, I don't think it's anything bad. I think she would have told us if it was anything that needed to be worried about. Because let's face it, Randee tends to be an open book, and she tends to let us know what's going on in her life. So that's always a good. So that's always really nice of her, because let's face it, she doesn't have to. Nobody has to tell anybody anything about their lives. But yes, she had a doctor's appointment this morning. Hey, Mary. Yes, it is a long weekend, which makes me debate whether I'm going to do anything for Monday or not. Let's face it, on normal circumstances, I usually, even on the holidays, I usually do my lives. Heck, I did one on Christmas. So I probably will, but you never can tell. Um, I guess if I show up, you'll know, right? But my husband will be home, and my daughter. I think the whole family will be home. So, um, yes, I agree. Kipperly Randy is fabulous. She is a dear, dear, wonderful friend. So, that's why we're doing it over here, though, because she did have an early doctor's appointment. I think she told me it was at like 8:30 or 8:15 or something like that. So, um, definitely wouldn't be back home in time to do morning coffee. So that is why we are doing it here. So, for those of you who didn't know, I do know that she did announce it at the end of her morning coffee yesterday, because I reminded her, hey, you know what, we're not you're not going to be over there. You're voting for me to take the day off on Monday. Well, I may take the day off tomorrow, because I usually do a recorded video for Saturdays, but my recorded videos have been not behaving lately. So we'll have to see what I decide to do. Normally, I would record the video if I was going to record one after doing the live, but I have PT at 1:45 today, so it's sort of in the middle of the day, sort of messes things up that way. But well, that's the way it goes. Um, so anyway, I really haven't planned anything for today, so we're gonna have to just sort of play it by ear. What we're gonna do, we can either play with the remaining pieces of my FOC, we can we can work with one of the bargain bead boxes, or I also have, of course, the wild mushroom kit from Softlex, though those are the ones I usually record if I'm going to record something, so I have to think about it. Oh, that's very pleasant. 80 up to 81 with very low humidity. Oh, that would be nice. We had rain yesterday, and I think we're probably going to have another one of those more chilly days today. Hey, Deborah. And so it's raining down there, Chris. Is it the rainy season in Arizona? They have a very specific rainy season down there. I know they call it the monsoons. My sisters showed times when it's just pouring down there. Um, for those wondering, Chris is on it doing a long road trip, and she's in Arizona right now. So it's been going all around you there in Virginia, Mary. That's too bad. So I'm still trying to decide what I want to do here. So cloudy with rain expected later, Deborah. Yeah. But it rained here yesterday. It was much cooler than it has been in the 70s, and it maybe only the high 60s yesterday. I didn't really pay attention to it. And as far as, yes, there are turtles hanging from my ears. That's very true. Um, as far as rain is concerned, it was more of a light drizzle, but it still was enough to really cool it down. So let's see, this one's easier to get in and out. So yes, my turtles are, come here, flip around. I got those little turtles in Hawaii. Isn't he cute? He's got a little plumera on his back, just like I have on my arm. See, my little turtle with the plumera. And then we have a coin pearl in the middle and two black pearls on either side. So, as well as a little teeny purple rondelle. So yeah, I got those after I got the pearls in Hawaii too, for that matter. So yes, I have turtles in my ears. Hi, Sid. Hi, Anita. We've been sort of talking about the weather so far. Most people are having a cooler day today. Some people are having rain. Some people want some rain. Like I said, we had a little drizzle yesterday, and I think it said we had a possibility of a thunderstorm today. I hope not, because until we get some heavy duty rain coming down, a lot of times when we have thunderstorms in the summer, they're dry lightning, and that's not good. Hey, Cynthia. Oh, I'm glad you love my earrings. I like them too. So we really haven't got a plan for today. It's more of a, well, let's see what we can come up with. And I'm sort of debating if I want to work with my FOC some more, because I have that big, beautiful shell here, which is actually a connector. It's got a hole in top and bottom. It's a donut. And we got the Shiva shells. So I was debating trying to come up with something to go with them. But I haven't really given it a whole heck of a lot of thought yet. So, hey, Tammy. So we've been mainly, like I say, just talking about, sort of talking about the weather for a while. And then we did explain that the reason I'm doing the morning coffee this morning is because Randee has a doctor's appointment. early this morning. So, but I don't think it's anything horribly bad because Randee, let's face it, is an open book, and she would let us know if it was. So, um, anyway, like I say, I'm not real sure what we want to make yet, but we do want to make something. Ouch. My knee's hurting a little bit today. The nerve, which is always dead, but the doctor said would probably come back within the next 6 months, is starting to know that it is. And so I'm getting these little stabby pains in it, but it's not horrible. Uh-oh. Okay. It looks like I froze for a second there. Are we good? Oh, nope, we're down again. Okay. It looks to me from my tablet that we're back. Hopefully we are. Um, looks like the internet was playing some tricks for a little bit there, because I saw that it stopped and then pixelated for a little bit. So, um, but it's good there. Okay, good. That is one thing about having the tablet there, because when I'm recording, it doesn't show me anything. But if the tablet messes up, I know something's messing up. But I'm glad everything's is back to normal, so to speak, up there. So we're going to turn down and we're gonna see what we can come up with turtle, with the last of our FOC here, I think. Because let's face it, it's due on Sunday. So if I'm gonna put anything more out there, we need to do that. Though actually I did put something else in there. I don't know if anybody has been over to Randee's channel to see the FOC items, but on Members Live, we made these earrings yesterday, and the flowers and the heart down here at the bottom, though I added the shamrock to it, was in my FOC. So I think those turned out really nice. I've got them sitting here drying because I put the shamrock on late yesterday evening, so they need to take a little time. So thank you, Anita. So we're going to turn down, look at the rest of our FOC things and see if we can come up with an idea of something to make with this. I think this big shell demands a necklace. If it was bowed the other direction, it could actually work for a bracelet, but well, I'll show you what I mean. So let's turn down and we'll start looking at that. There's the mat. I'm going to pull this up just a bit. There we go. So this is, excuse me, got a little frog in my throat. This is the remainder of our kit. And we have this big piece of shell, which is really pretty. And it's in one of these bags we hate. So, right, we'll get it out. And look at the shimmer on that baby. Isn't that pretty? It's sort of thin, but at the same time, it's pretty strong. But as you can see, the holes are here and here, and see how it's bowed to this direction? If the holes had gone the other direction, we maybe could have thought of a bracelet, but as it is, it just bows up the wrong direction for a bracelet. So it needs to be a necklace. And of course, since it's actually a connector, it will be the focal, but we'll need to put a dangle here. And I've been trying to think of what I want for this dangle. I could put one of my whale's tails here. Or even, if we wanted to, this tree of life. Or, come here, babies. Sorry, stretch. If we recall, we opened these up the other day because I found these, and I think actually these might work because of the other colors of the other pieces. We had these three Jardin enamel pieces. I think these two are mainly the same, so those will be the earrings, but we could hook this shell up here at the bottom, which then makes it into a much more expensive piece due to the fact you're not cooking tonight. Ah, you're making sandwiches with rolls and cold meat, and yeah, okay, that sounds good. So we could hook our Jardin shell up here since we do have three, and these are going to go probably to being earrings. Hey, Brandy, how are you doing, honey? Are you feeling a little bit more settled today? Hey, Leanna. You're up a little early for you, Leanna. It's good to see you. Not really. I'm sorry, honey. Do we want to tell the folks what's going on with you so they know why I asked? If you feel up to it, we can. If you don't feel up to it, we don't have to say a thing. So now I also think that this impression jasper goes really well with the shell, and these were even working good. So, though because these are blue and gold, I may find gold spacers for this. The reason I asked Brandy how she is feeling today is because last night, late in the evening, she had a kitchen fire in her house, and it was pretty bad from the looks of it. Her kitchen's pretty much destroyed. So we got to send her some prayers and good vibes, and hope that that things work out for her. Um, None of those things are a fun thing. So let's all say a little prayers for Brandy's and hope that things work out all right for her. So Brandy, accidents happen. That's just a way of life. Nobody's perfect, and accidents happen, and you can't go beating yourself up for something that um, you know was it's not like you intentionally did it. And I'm not even sure you did do it when it comes right down to it. I was telling Kimberly last night that um, my stove blew up this summer, and my daughter had just finished fixing us some dinner, and she just called me in, and I just barely walked in the kitchen when my whole kitchen lit up orange. And it turned out that my burner had blown up. One of the burner that she just turned off blew up when she turned it off. And that was what that big orange flash all through my kitchen was. Luckily, it did not catch on fire, but it certainly could have. And so, don't blame yourself for something, because who knows, who knows. I know that my daughter didn't do anything to make my stove blow up. So, and things happen. So, yeah, doo doo happens. This is true. So anyway, I'm thinking we'll put our our Jardin enameled shell, hook it down here on this hole. Look at this patterning on this. If you look at it just like it looks like waves. It's really cool. I really like it. Then you turn it and you get all the flash of the mother of pearl, but it looks really cool. So our shell, we're going to hook the shell to the we're going to hook the shell to the shell. Hi Heather. Um, so then we're going to do something with this. This isn't going to be a long enough strand to just do, even breaking it and putting, well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on how much spacers I put in, right? So because this has the gold in it, though, I'm thinking I'm going to go with gold for our base or our spacers. Might think about that between. It is a gorgeous donut, isn't it? So the Shiva shells, everything is going to pop in between our beads here. But this bead strand is, I think it's only an 8-inch. It might be a little bigger than that, but I think it's only an 8-inch. It is. So we need at least double this amount. And I don't think these little pieces are going to give me that double amount, but I'm going to get a bail. We need a gold bail. Thinking I may just use one of these ball bells. So I do have these pretty ones that look sort of like a feather, but it doesn't really fit the theme. So I think we'll just stick with the ball. So we're going to, come here. I'm debating putting this little piece in. It doesn't really need it. It's just, we'll see. Don't want silver. If I have some gold ones of these, that would work. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to put these two together. Shell will go on this, but now we know we're going to do this. So we have to come up with a plan for our pieces here. And I think we're going to use all these pieces, plus a bit. Come open. Where is your end? I love the Shiva shells. I almost felt like just hoarding them. These little impression Jasper rondelles are pretty too. Now we're going to go with ball spacers because let's face it, they match the veil pretty good. The ball spacers do. So I actually might put a couple underneath. I usually get some seed beads or something to put underneath the bell because it's a good sized bell. The hole works great for leather and such, so we'll want something underneath that to keep it from jogging around too much. And now we have to come up with some pattern. Well, we only have 5 Shiva shells, so it looks like we're only going to be using 4 because I don't want to put an odd man out there somewhere. Well, there is one thing we could do, though. Come back out here. What if we were to take the Shiva shell and wire it between these two? That might work. So that might work, putting the Shiva shell between the 2 shells, like so. We'll see. In the meantime, we'll put this lone one back in the bag, and these will go back up here again where I want to keep them so that they're not in the way, but close enough to give me inspiration. So what we need to do is, I'm not going to use just the ball spacers. I tend to like another spacer along with the ball spacers. So we'll probably might as well take these all off the string because I'm pretty sure we're going to use them all. And actually, these beads match the enamel shell really, really well. See how they match really good. So that works perfect. So now I want some gold spacers other than my ball spacers, and I will be right back as soon as I find, oh, actually I have these right here. These will work. So now we have to get designing. I think I want my turquoise Softflex. But we want, I think about all of these beads will go through this. Yep. So I may just put this between the bail so that we have and that can go underneath. I may want to get some tiny daisy spacers too to go between these little, because I'm not sure I want to use these guys. They are a little bit larger than I want between these guys here. So I'm thinking I might get some tiny, tiny daisy spacers out in the gold. And then we're going to start bringing the other things in here. And I think we'll put a Shiva shell here close to the bottom because they're just they sort of need to get in down here. I don't want them hiding way up top. So. Okay, that's working for me. And actually, we may not need any spacers between our little green ones. They're looking cute that way. Now, I guess if we run out of beads, we can always put some chain up the back to finish it off. I think it's looking nice so far, though. So we'll let's start right here and see what it looks like. So frankly, I am going to do this spot again, so maybe I'll just start with that spot over on this side. order me some more turquoise. It's getting low. Oh, come on. It's not where you wanted to go. There we go. So we'll start with this section right here, since that's what would be next over here. So okay, that's this section here. So we got these three then. 1, 2, I am going to get the little tiny daisy spacers. I'll be right back. Does Bargain Beadbox have, or Beadbox Bargains have a Labor Day sale? I don't know. I really don't. I guess we'll find out. They'll tell us sooner or later, I'm sure. Usually I get an email if they have a sale, though, and I haven't seen one, so I don't know. But I'll keep an eye out for one, for sure. Let's see, are these still bigger than I want? I don't know. We'll find out. I think they'll be good. I think I'm going to like it. Hi, Gloria. This one's very blue. I want one with a little more patterning. There, that's better. So far, I'm quite liking this. I think it's going to turn out very pretty.
This is where the bell is going to come on, and it will slide, I'm sure, over all of those beads if it wants to, but it's supposed to sit right here. So and the only way to stop that from doing something that is by putting a bigger bead here. But in order to do that, I have to put it into the pattern. And so I don't really think I want to do that. Unless I'm thinking we will come off here, baby. Start the pattern here. And instead of going on, we'll stop. We'll go right to here. Now we do need a couple of these beads under here so that it will not float around too much. And we can use the spacers or we can use the green beads, but I'm going to use the spacers, I think. Now see, it won't float now because it's got that bead right there on this side. So we're going to then do this again to this side. Now we're going to go back to our normal pattern. Come here, you guys. Oh, come on. There we go. So, works. Get some more ball spacers out. No, I don't. They're right here, Rose. Just use the ones you've got laid out. Well, you've had a busy morning, Gloria. Already went food shopping and post office and
Yeah, I know what you mean, Mary. That's sort of why I did it. I was like, well, it can slide around on the beads. It's no big deal. And then I thought, yeah, but I don't want it turning so that it's way over here by the Shiva shells and banging into the Shiva shell. So that is the main reason why I decided to do that. So it couldn't wiggle around too much. Come here, you three. Oh, don't need that one. This goes to here. Now I think I'm to where we left off over here on the other side. So we're not very long yet. We're going to have to keep going, but we don't have any more Shiva shells, so we'll just continue this pattern up until we decide we've got the length we want. So let's measure and see how much we've got here. It's about 6.5, so we got about 13 inches. So we're going to want at least probably 3 or 4 more inches here. So we'll just, I'm going to probably want to separate these out now so that I don't go overboard and go all the way to one side. So we've got 3 of these. Oh, we do not, because that would make an uneven amount since we're putting 2 in each one. So these are going to float over here. We can't use that many. So we'll just be only able to do one of these patterns right here. So we may end up with some chain. makes it be 9 inches. That makes it be 18. So that would be about where I'd like it a little longer than 18, but 18 works, especially since then we put the hardware on and we can put an extension chain in. So I think that may be where we stop at. Come here, you. Yep. That's what I thought. These beads are small enough that it doesn't want to go back through there. It's all right. Now I cut more wire than I needed to. I'm going to move this up some so we can have more wire on this side. So if I wanted to go back through a bead, I could actually just actually, since we have two of these, what I can do if I want is to do the first half of this right to about right here. And that way I know that I'm fairly positive two will go through this bead. Guess we'll find out. Oh yeah, easily. So I think that's what we'll do. We will simply and then we'll end it at the halfway point like that. Gives us a teeny touch more length, as well as then the beads, this wire can go back through that one bead. Used up all our little impression Jasper rondelles. So there we go. a few beads left. Not many, but a few. Hey, Dorothy. Yeah, this is the FOC. This is the last of my FOC from Randee. I have added the spacers to the kit, as well as this beautiful Jardine enameled shell, which we're going to. This was part of the kit, and then, but the little teal beads, the little blue and gold beads, and the impression jasper rondelles and the Shiva shells were all part of my FOC. So actually, this is going to use up most of the rest of my FOC. Obviously, we're going to have a few of these guys left because, well, we haven't used them. So let's measure this out now that I added that last little bit. So that comes to 9.5, which will make 19 inches. Then we'll put the hardware on and it'll become about 20 inches. So it's a pretty nice length, actually. They're all heading that way except for this one. Doesn't matter. Not going to worry about it. So we're going to get some crimps out. And we're just going to crimp our ends here. Okay. Leaving a loop in our wire so that we can hook a jump ring into there for our lobster and our catch. 2x2 crimps. Put your crimp in the divot and lightly squish down. Turn. We're going to keep turning the wire and the little ball until when you push on it, see that I just put it together and there's no gap. So we're done. There's no more it can do because it's already got no gap there. So we're going to pull on our wire. It looks like it's good and tight. And we'll cut this end off. Let's slowly roll this guys around. And we'll do the same on this side. Now this side you have to be a little more careful with because otherwise you're going to get a pretty good sized gap somewhere. See, if I hadn't pushed that down, see how much gap I have right there. So we do need a little gap over here because otherwise your crimping pliers will not go down. They need to be in the right spot. So a little more. I think she's good. Now sometimes once I get my crimp in, I will push it down to the bead, and then if I've got a lot of gap up there, I'll just pull down on our wire so that it's not got an atrociously huge loop. It's bigger than the other side, but it's not horrible. Now, Softlex does say that you can use your loop to hook into for your lobster claw, that you don't need a jump ring, but I generally always put one on anyway. There we go. So our pretty little bead chain is finished. Turn over, Shivas. And we just need to put our lobster claw and okay, where did I miss? It didn't matter, or I would have flipped this one back over to the other way because the other three are going the other way, but I'm not really caring that much. So, no. A lot of times those kind of things do bother me, but it doesn't bother me with this one. I'll have to go check yours out, Dorothy. I know I heard you saying you were starting. I haven't seen it yet, so I will go and check it out later. What pendant am I going to use? Well, we've got a beautiful mother pearl shell here, which donut, which is actually a connector. It's got two holes, top and bottom. I have this beautiful Jardin enameled shell. I'm going to put it down here on the bottom down here. But since we had one Shiva left, just one, I'm thinking we'll put him between the two. Though it really doesn't need anything, but I think that that will pull pull it the design up into the necklace since we have the Shiva shells up there. And if we wanted to make a longer dangle, we could actually put some other beads in as well since we do have some extras. But I'm not thinking I want to do that. I think that would be too much. So it is gorgeous. Not sure which one you mean, this one or this one. They're both pretty. So, like I said, we can add more beads to this or not, depending on what we want to do. I don't really think I want to because I don't want it to be too dangly. At the same time, that adds the color, some more color. So we could put this up here for when we connect it on. Though we really don't need that here because we already have the 2 up here. So I'm not sure if we want to add another one there or not. Not that it would be a problem. I think it actually might be sort of pretty. So, so there is what. So now some of you are saying they think I should just use the Jardin shell. And it would work. Let's pull it down here so you can see it better. So as you can see, that would work, just doing it like so. Of course, we'd have a spacer in here between the 2 here. The spacers don't want to cooperate, so you can't really see how that would look really good, but it would be like that. But so, but this was what I originally planned to make this piece. And actually, I didn't have the Shiva in the middle. I just decided to put the Shiva in the middle because I had 5. And so with an uneven number, it goes in pretty well. So we can go that way. Because this is the FOC stuff right here. This is an addition from myself. I thought it matched up good with the beads. So we can go this way. We can add this to the bottom, though actually with the Shiva shell in the middle, I think it's actually a bit much. So maybe we will take our Jardin shell out and just use this just like this. The 2 of them together is magnificent, but it's actually it's getting a little bit on the big size. This does match with these beads really beautifully, but yeah, I think we'll take the shell out and just do it like this. So I'm not sure whether I want another little bead in here with our Shiva dangle. Or maybe not this one, but maybe one of the other big one, like so. Well, let's get a head pin out and see how that would look with the whole thing there. I do want to put this color one between these 2. What knocked down? Oh, rings. Come here. Yes, there is a hole there, honey. See, we have two holes here, one here and one here. So I think we're going to put this here. I debated since I have these two here, but then I thought it just makes a pretty little. We're going to debating if I want to try to put that directly onto the shell. Give it a try. I got to be careful though. I don't want to break it. Make a bigger loop. When we come around, we're going to leave a really good sized gap here. Oh yeah, that went on easy. I want to grab this. I don't want to grab the edge of the shell, so I've got to be careful there. Okay. Okay. Yes, it did. Worked really nicely. So now I'll just get a piece of gold wire to do these two in. And well, then we have to put the findings on the back. But that, I think that looks really nice. I like that. So knocking my little earrings all over the place here. I think we'll pick them up and put them to the side. Okay. So now, like I said, I need to get a little piece of gold wire. Where did I put my gold wire? There it is. This 20 gauge beadle-on German style wire. We're just going to get a little piece out. Now again, I'm going to make one of those big loops like I did on the lower piece and leave my gap here. This one didn't gap as much as I want it to, but it might be enough. So we're going to if this was metal, I'd just yank on it, but it's not. So I want to be careful that I don't break my shell. I may need to open this up just a little bit more. Come on, baby. There we go. Now we need to bring these together carefully. Now you get out of the way. So I am going to probably put this directly onto the bail as well. So we'll just bend it forward. But this time we don't need such a big hole, so a big loop. So we're going to go to the smaller one again, like normal. Bring it around, and we'll bring it over, and we're going to leave that gap so that we can, that needs to tip a little bit there, go into a bail easily. Now, remember, when you're feeding these things like this, and you have a specific front and back, you need to feed it in backwards. This doesn't have a specific front and back because the Shiva shells can turn. So it's not like it's going to make a big difference if it faces the opposite, the pendant faces the opposite direction. You just turn your Shiva shells so that they'll match up where you're at. So now we'll go, we're going to wrap this baby. Now this one's going to be a little trickier because you've got all this stuff in your way. So you just got to make sure that, I think that rolled down the base just a touch. Come here, you. I got to see what you did. Maybe not. Oops. Don't let go. You guys go over here. There, now the pendant is finished. Turn you back over here. And now we just have to put in our lobster claw and our jump rings. And we are done. It's fun to see the piece evolve. Yeah, and you tend to, sometimes you go with something and then go, oh yeah, that's not really working for me. I need to make that small little adjustment like we did here and we did here at the bottom of our shell piece. And you got to be able to roll with the punches. Go ahead, turn it, change it. If it works better this way, do it this way. Don't always think something has to go in one specific way. They don't. I've designed things and put it down on paper what I was going to do and then changed it as I worked on them. It's an arbitrary thing. It's what you want to do. It's not something that is cast in stone just because, well, that's the way I designed it. So it's your design. Change it. You don't have to keep it the same. There's no law that says you have to keep it the same. As Randee's always saying, no rules. There is no rules. Now, if you wanted this to be longer, or if you were to sell it and whoever bought it wanted it longer, you could always add some extender chain right here. And in fact, let's do that. I think I have some Rolo chain right here that the lobster claw will fit into, which would make a pretty, let's check it. Come here, where's your end? There it is. We want to check it to make sure our lobster claw will go in it. If it won't, then it's a moot point. It won't work. It does fine. So I'm going to add like, oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches to the end here. So we're going to just, since we got our jump ring open, we can easily add it right here on the end before we put the jump ring in place. So we have a little extender chain here. And now, because I don't like a plain little extender chain hanging down, I think they look silly that way. We need a pretty for the end. So, because we have these beads left, we're going to take one of these and one of these. And I think we'll do these 2 spacers since they're right here anyway. Put them together. And we will have us a little pretty little dangle to put on the end. This wire's a bit crooked. It's a lot longer than we need it, so I'm not worried about that though. See if the beads will go on though. They may not, because sometimes with a crooked piece of wire, the pieces don't want to fall into place. And if they don't, since this is way longer than we need it, we'll just cut the top off. There we go. It's fine. So now we're gonna since it looks like I'm in a mood to hardwire things, we'll just hardwire our little dangle into place too. there we go. Little pretty at the bottom. And now this is what is left of my FOC. Everything else we just used. Sorry about that. That's my alarm telling me it's 9:30, which is my usual get ready for my live thing. So now it's my warning that we've been on an hour and a half. You're going to use the mostly purple stone. Oh, that will be pretty. I really loved my stones, and under normal circumstances, I would have kept them. But let's face it, like I said, they're just sitting in a drawer for 5 years, and they need some loving and being used. So no problem there. So little baggie, because that's the last of my FOC. Everything has now been used except for those few beads there. And if I really wanted to, I wish if I'd had another couple of little pieces of impression jasper, I might have decided to make some earrings, because you can make some really simple earrings with these, because we could have just done the 3 and this guy, and like so, or even longer if we wanted to. The only reason I wouldn't do that, because I have everything, but I don't have the impression jasper. So it would have been better if we could have put the impression jasper at the end, so the earring would have looked like so. But we don't have any more. We used it all, so I'm not going to worry about it. But you could do that. And I have enough that I actually could. Let's see, how many do we have? Do we have an even number? There's 5. 5 for this one. Nope. We got 2, 6. We'd still have an uneven number. So even if we wanted to do something with them like so. Since we only used 3 in the necklace, though, I'd probably lean towards using 3. But we don't have any more little impression jasper rondelles, so I don't really want to do that, because I would really want to put this section as the earring if I were going to make an earring. Oop. So I think it turned out really pretty. I'm pleased with it. And I like it a lot. It's one of those ones I may have to argue with myself. You called me out on my, yeah, you did. But, I mean, when I first got them, I used quite a few of them. And then, but it became sort of an addiction to buy them. And I just kept on. And they actually were auction items. And so I just kept bidding and kept winning. And so... But then, like I said, I used part of them. I made Christmas presents for all my sisters, necklaces with some of them. And then I made a couple for myself, and I've sold a few that I've made, but I probably only used about a dozen of them, and the rest of them just started just sitting there because, I had used as many as I wanted to for a while there. So, but that's what's left. This is our necklace. I'm really liking it. So besides the necklace, we made with the kit a pair of earrings. Here's just one of them. The flowers were from the kit. The other items are from my stash. Let's see, what else did we make with that? Oh, yes. Come here, you. We also made the bookmark, the coffee bookmark. And lastly, come here, guys. Or one of you anyway. We made the chicken earrings. So there's my 4 different items that we made using our FOC this month. 2 pair of earrings, a bookmark, and a necklace. Well, Dorothy, they were mailed yesterday, so they should be they're on their way. So everybody have a beautiful weekend. Oh, I see we're pixelating again. How lovely. Anyway, we're going to go off. I hope everybody has a lovely weekend. And I'm not sure if I'll be on Monday or not. If I'm not, I will put a message out. If I am, I'll put a message out. So everybody knows one way or the other what is going on. Surprises are uncouth. Who wants them? So I will let you know one way or the other if I decide to come on Monday. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend. This is a long weekend since it is the holiday, Labor Day weekend. And let's turn up. Come on, let's lock. There we go. So anyway, this is the holiday weekend, so I hope everybody has a lovely time. Even better than I thought. So oops, there we go. Looks like we are frozen again. So since we seem to want to be frozen for a while here, it just keeps popping on and off, doesn't it? We're going to go. We've been on for a little over an hour and a half. Heather will be on in a half hour since I believe she has moved her time frame up to match mine. I could be wrong, but I think she has. So you did. Okay, Heather. I thought you probably would. So we're gonna get off so that we can have a little break, go potty, whatever you need to do, get a new cup of coffee, get a snack before Heather starts. You have to work Labor Day because Lady Gaga is in town. Well, cool. So is she doing a concert then, Dorothy? Do you have to you work at the stadium, right? That might be interesting. Anyway, I had a good time today. We're going to go, like I said, so everybody can have a little break before Heather starts. And then everybody can go over and join with Heather. And she's going to use one of the stones. It's a concert at the arena. Yeah. Well, I hope you get to enjoy the concert at least. Do you like Lady Gaga? I think that would be sort of fun. But we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna go so Heather can so everybody can have a little break. You don't really like Lady Gaga? Well, that's too bad. So we can have a break before Heather starts. You know, like I said, snack, drink, potty, all those crucial things that we all have to do sooner or later. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, taking morning coffee talk for Randee Brown. Bye-bye.